this morning, a top Veterans Affairs official is in Oklahoma. Undersecretary for Benefits, Dr. Paul Lawrence, has been visiting with our state leadership, and he joins us this morning to talk about what they discussed and also their latest initiatives. I want to say good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you making the time. You're busy.
Yes.
You're only here for 2 days, so
that's correct.
You've had a busy schedule. What have you done so far? Who have you spoken with?
So I'm here visiting the Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs. That's where I went yesterday. Your Cabinet Secretary Ben Robinson and his team to talk about how from a national level at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, we're working with them to collaborate to make sure we're serving the over 300,000 veterans in Oklahoma. So we talked about some of the ways they connect with all the groups in Oklahoma. We can connect with them. Quite frankly, we had some things to share with them, and there were some best practices we learned that we're going to go back and think about and copy.
Yeah. Anything that you want to share specifically that you liked, what you saw?
Sure. The engagement with veterans, you know, there's so many different groups that work with veterans. I think that he calls them islands of excellence, but they're not connected. And we feel the same thing from Washington to be connected to Oklahoma. So really a conversation about connectivity, especially as it relates to our efforts to deal with suicide.
You know, in Oklahoma, I'd say in general, we have a great respect for the military here, a great respect for our veterans. So in a place where we know and love these people so much, how are we still not getting it done? Because there are veterans that are hurting, and we're trying to figure that out. How can that even happen in a place like Oklahoma?
It's always frustrating to hear about stuff like this, especially since these are benefits they've earned. This is what they serve for. So we make a big effort to try to enlist folks like you to come to the VA and access your benefits. We're here to help. It's coming in person, it's communicating, it's going to benefits.va.gov to learn. So our thing is come connect with us and let us provide these benefits to you.
You talked with leadership. What are you hearing, though, from veterans themselves here in Oklahoma?
Well, it's not your father's VA anymore. They like it. Actually, last night I went to VFW Post 9265 right here and had a roundtable with veterans, multi-generational. The services, the health care, by and large, are very well received, and our independent surveys show that. And the speed by which we're processing their claims has never been faster. They know that, too. Yes, there are some things that could improve, and that's the way it's always going to be. But they appreciate the time together and had some pretty good ideas from their perspectives too.
This year happens to be the 75th anniversary of the landmark GI Bill, one of the VA's most successful programs, one of which you oversee now. Can we talk about what that bill looks like now in its infancy, now 75 years later?
Sure. 1944, the Servicemen's Readjustment Act of 1944, which became known as the GI Bill, a series of rights for returning veterans. 16 million veterans would return, 7.8 would go get educated, go to college. It starts the middle class, transforms our country. It's evolved over time, and right now we're implementing the latest iteration. It's what's called the Forever GI Bill. It makes the benefits forever if you served after January 1st of 2013, and some very exciting things to deal for veteran employment around high-tech scholarships, high-tech apprenticeships, and extra time if you go study STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So it's very, very exciting to figure out how this next generation of veterans can access these kind of things and use them to advance their careers.
And I see in our notes this idea that that would be available for veterans, but then also their dependents?
That's correct. Under news laws, if you leave the service, you can transfer, before you leave the service, you can transfer the benefits to your dependents. So it's not just veterans, but also their dependents can access the GI Bill.
What is the feeling in Washington just around the work that you're doing? Are you feeling like this is a great year? I know you mentioned something about, wanting 2019 and beyond to kind of be the best year, and this to be. Do you feel that you're making headway and things are happening as you would like?
Yes, certainly as candidate now as president, President Trump has supported veterans from the very beginning. So it's a transformational year and period of time. The budgets are the largest. The Congress is working with us to pass laws that give us flexibility in terms of dealing with problems and the like. So what we've done at the Veterans Benefits Administration, the benefits part, we've looked at our progress and said there's fewer headwinds than ever before that prevent us from having what we call #BestYearEver in terms of not just our performance, but our engagement with veterans and even the organizations that support them. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Interesting to note, just in your resume, that you hold a Master of Arts and a PhD in Economics from Virginia Tech, Bachelor of Arts in Economics from the University of Massachusetts. That Masters of Arts, just talk about your education, your background. I think it's fascinating. interesting. I've got other lists here to go through on you, sir. Pretty impressive.
So I was always interested in economics. I think it's a way to think about the world, and now I apply it in terms of that. So yes, I matriculated right through. In fact, ironically, I became a veteran after I completed my education, and folks asked me if you have used the GI Bill, and actually I ran out of places to use it, so I was unable to use the GI Bill.
Yeah.
But that's correct. I got my PhD in economics, and at one point in my life, I thought I would become a college professor, but that's since changed.
Yeah, it changed. And you also are a recipient, you have attained the rank of captain, Army veteran, a recipient of the prestigious Meritorious Service Medal, and a graduate of the Army's Airborne School. That's impressive. Can you just talk about that experience? I mean, like you said, just being a veteran, having that experience.
Sure. Well, I grew up in a military family. Absolutely. I grew up in a military family. My father was in the Army. He served for 26 years. He's passed now, buried in Arlington Cemetery. My brother and I both joined ROTC. Like I said, I got all my education and then joined the Army. I was in the Finance Corps, but the way to exceed is, I think people know at Fort Sills here, is you get into combat arms. I was going to join the infantry and then go to Fort Bragg. I needed to be airborne qualified, so I did that. But then I met the woman I'd ultimately married, and she was moving to Washington, and I decided it was time to become a veteran and move to Washington.
Yeah.
So that's right.
And this idea of what you'll be up to today. So you've had your day yesterday, you've got a full day today. Can you share with us some of the things you'll be doing?
Sure. I'm going to go speak at the National Association of Veterans Programs Administrators, NAVPA, which is convened here, their 44th annual conference here. These are folks at the state level all across the country who've come to talk about veterans programs and how they support them. Most important today, we're talking about the GI Bill and the education programs we're administering. We're in the final process of completing the law that was passed in 2017. So we want to make sure they understand the changes are coming and can explain it to their membership. In addition, throughout the week, we'll have a couple other folks from my team here talking about things like vocational rehabilitation. This is if you need extra assistance, we provide counseling and the like to make sure you're in the right career path. So we have a steady day of engaging, collaborating, quite frankly, hopefully more listening than talking, but making sure we're connected at the state level.
Well, Dr. Lawrence, we thank you so much for making the time for
Thank
us.
you so much
and we
for
thank you for coming to Oklahoma.
Thank you.
Make sure to come back again when you do visit. We appreciate it.
Thank you.